Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 9, Episode 4.
Listen, Karen, you must be loved on this show because the attitude you have this season, you wouldn't even have half that attitude if I was on this show. Mm-hmm. Not even in the least a bit. Blair, you ready to walk us through this?
I'm ready.
Subscribe, like, share, comment. Y'all know what to do. Blair, let's go.
Karen and Mia are in their car heading to their vacation home.
Yeah.
Karen tells her that she broke down and she's not ashamed of that.
Okay.
Well, Mia tells her that it's nice that you're saying that you messed up. You know, this was your second time. Mm-hmm. And Karen makes it clear that she is not admitting to anything.
Okay.
She does bring up, however, how Jacqueline said the night before the party that she called her and she was drunk when she talked to her, when that was not the case.
Oh, it wasn't the case?
Well, we move on to Wendy's car, and Jacqueline and Gizelle are talking about how Karen drunk dialed Jacqueline and how Giselle's like, yeah, Karen does that. And Wendy shuts down the conversation since Karen isn't there to defend herself.
She said, hey, Karen's not in the car. Karen's not in the car. Okay, Wendy, I see you.
Jassy is talking about how she is older than her man just by like 3 years, but her maturity keeps him on track. Jacqueline's guy that she's with is 42, so they have a little bit of an age gap, but they both own their own businesses. She has her med spa, which she says pretty much runs itself at this point, but she's also working with Greg on his mental health facility. Ashley talks about how she didn't like working with Michael.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Ashley.
Wendy asks how Gizelle and Karen, how their relationship is going. And Gizelle does need to talk to Karen during this trip to talk about how she invited the ladies to her event, which was the same time as Giselle's event for her father. Yeah. Wendy said, you guys should talk tonight instead of tomorrow because, you know, that's my birthday.
That's
so
my birthday.
Hash this out.
Yes.
So Wendy did overhear Jassy talking about Jacqueline being Mia's sidekick. Then we see Mia in her car talking about how she doesn't think Stacy is very interesting. Yeah. Mia says that everyone else pretty much said the same thing, and she just doesn't vibe with the Valley Girl persona.
What is your thoughts on these scenes?
I don't really vibe with the hood rat persona.
Wait a minute.
That's the persona I don't really vibe with when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac. So for Mia, I don't even know if other women feel that way. Mia lies, so she could just be making the situation bigger than it is, and she just doesn't find Stacy interesting. But I would much rather see Stacy on the show if I had to choose, rather than Mia and her husband, boyfriend, licking feet storyline, best friend, side chick sleeping in the same bed storyline. I think Mia declasses the show. Wow. But you know, we're here, she's here, and I'm, you know, going to pay attention to her storyline. But to call Stacy boring, no. I like Stacy. I like her contribution to the show so far.
Here's the thing. I don't know if I like Stacy, but I think I'm in the perfect position. Like, we only on 4 episodes of this season. I think it's fair to not have an opinion of Stacy yet.
Right, rather than make an opinion.
And then jumping off the ledge with it. Yeah. For you to call her a hood rat, Blair, that's a bit much, okay?
What would you call it?
Probably hood rat, but that's not the point, right? The point is this show has been hood rat-ish for the longest. You get what I'm saying? So I think Mia just took it to another level. Oh, yeah. I mean, like a really another level. But you know, there's always been some type of, I feel like they don't represent Potomac the way that Potomac should be represented. And I can speak of that because I'm here. You get what I'm saying? Compared to, you know, some people who may be watching who probably don't know where Potomac is. So this is more of Baltimore. You get what I'm saying? Like Ashley can speak of that. So, Karen, I understand what she's saying, and basically she's not meant to anything. Truth be told, I would have been better if she would have like said on camera before filming that I'm not going to touch on it. I can't talk about it, and because I cannot talk about it, I don't want no reference to it. I don't want anything or anybody to talk about it. And if that's the case, I think Karen should have took the season off.
I'm about to say she can't control what people bring up.
No. But that's my end goal. Then I think because the way she's talking and the way her chest is puffed out, when Ashley said it last episode, you could have hurt somebody, and I'm like, how come nobody's not saying this over and over again?
Yeah.
How come nobody's checking Karen this season and things like that? This is the season where you can check her and things of that nature. But we will see more of this.
Yeah. So the ladies get to Lake Norman.
Yeah.
They get to Mia's Manor, as the butler called it, and it was a really beautiful rental. They all have butlers assigned to them, and they have drinks and food waiting for them as they enter.
Okay.
So Karen and Gizelle have their own bedrooms, but they have to share a bathroom. Karen was not feeling that.
Okay.
Jacqueline would have preferred to have her own room, but she is sharing the same room as Mia. Same room, same bed. Kay and Stacy are in the bunk bedroom, and they had a whole balloon birthday set up for Wendy for her room, and I thought that was really nice and thoughtful.
Nice.
So Stacy arrives. This is her first time actually traveling for a girls' trip.
Yeah.
Gizelle says that she's going to be going home tonight since her twins have their cap and gown ceremony, but she's going to be coming back the next day.
Okay.
Giselle brings up how it's good to see Mia and Jacqueline, that they're good, they're getting along.
For now.
And Jacqueline brings up how she felt attacked when she was told that Jassy considered her Mia's sidekick. And we see, like, from past seasons flashbacks of Jacqueline being mentioned as Mia's sidekick and lover or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So she says that she says that she is the full course, and she stands up and shows herself that she is the full course. And Jazzy says from the neck up for sure.
Okay.
But Jazzy says, I didn't even say you were her sidekick. She was joking around and saying that Mia is going to have a great trip because she'll have a better sidekick.
Okay.
She says it was a joke to her because people know that she's not a sidekick. Whereas Jacqueline's over here trying to fight for the sidekick title.
Hey, listen here. Fight for your rights, girl.
So Mia said the boat is coming. They are going to take a cruise around the lake. Mia's friends are also going to be joining them for dinner later on. We find out that Jacqueline is cordial with the friends, but she don't really like Mia's other friends.
Okay.
Stacy's like, well, Jacqueline, it seems like you got a whole lot of beef with a few people. Karen feels that Jacqueline, is not a friend. This is her opportunity to come for Jacqueline for that drunk comment.
Yeah.
Apparently, Karen was saying that Jacqueline came to her to seek advice, and she was not drunk on the phone. She calls her a liar and says this is why she doesn't F with her.
Stop right here for a second. You know who I don't F with? People who be drunk and then get behind a vehicle, get behind the steering wheel of a vehicle. And I don't understand this whole like crying thing, this whole breakdown moment right here. Because I'm like, listen, there's an easy shot you could take on Karen this whole season. There would not be a tear shedded from my eyes if Karen was talking to me about who she F with or don't F with.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'd be like, Karen, enjoy your freedom for now. Because this thing you can't talk about, there's a reason why you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I would have kept saying criminal court over and over again. Every time she says something to me, I would have said CC. You get what I'm saying? Criminal court. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe next season, maybe you can only film in your house next season because you'll probably be on house arrest for like a couple months, years or so. Like, so I don't understand this whole like Karen lashing out and people actually like taking it. I don't even understand this whole situation because my whole thing is, Karen, it is a known fact by amongst the group that you drunk dial people. This is not the first time we heard this. So like, I don't know why like she felt so what's the word? Like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just a weird thing for me. Yeah,
Jacqueline felt that Karen is always deflecting. She started to tear up because she's not that kind of person. Karen says she can cry until the cows come home. And I'm just like, if Karen is going to be that cutthroat with you, why not be cutthroat with her? Like, I feel the exact same way. Like, say something back. Don't take it lying down. But Mia just says, we were all concerned. And then Wendy goes up to Jacqueline and is just like, all this crying stuff, get this out the way. My birthday tomorrow.
My birthday's tomorrow. In 16 hours. Please get it out the way.
So they go to check out their rooms.
Yeah.
Stacey and Keiarna see that, they have bunk beds. To me, I felt like Stacy was actually having a good attitude about the bunk beds. Like, she actually seemed like she didn't mind it. Did you want to give your interpretation?
Are you trying to lock me up for this? I have no interpretation. My only interpretation.
You thought she was being sarcastic.
That was to you because you can't read sarcasm.
Okay.
Like, obviously, she said, I always wanted a bunk bed. No 40 plus 50-year-old wants a bunk bed.
Okay.
At all. So like, I have nothing to say about that to Stacy. I think it was pretty obvious to everybody that she just took it on the chin. Basically, like, oh, you got me bunk beds? Okay, yay. But I guess Blair thought she was actually being a good character.
I thought she was being a good sport.
She was just being sarcastic and being passive aggressive.
Okay.
That's what she was.
So Ashley is hosting and doing everything she can to maintain her lifestyle and her income. She's on the phone with somebody, her manager, trying to figure out what her next gig is going to be.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what she needs to be doing if she's actually going to get this divorce from Michael, which I don't think is going to happen.
She's not getting a divorce.
Well, Mia talks about how Karen has to deflect. She's talking to Jacqueline because she doesn't want to talk about her citations. And basically, you know, Jacqueline thinks that Karen took things to another level.
Then how come you didn't take it to a whole nother level then? Like, my thing is match the energy that is given to you, right? If Karen's over here making you cry, fake cry, whatever it is, then you make her cry. Right? You make Karen say, you know what? I don't got to deal with this. I'm leaving. And then I would have been so happy. I would have been dancing, doing whatever I got to do because I made the grand dame or like whatever she call herself, the grand dame or whatever she call herself, leave. Because you ain't going to make me cry when you're a criminal. That's craziness. You get what I'm saying?
Well, Stacy and Karen have a chat, and Stacy is trying to open up to Karen and explain to her that they're eventually going to have to tell her daughter that they're going to get a divorce, and that's something that she's not quite prepared to do. Well, Karen decides to change the conversation and said, Stacy, everybody thinks you're boring.
Wait.
And I'm just like, okay, Karen, this feels like some more deflection.
Yeah.
And this is the feedback she's gotten. And she tells her to, you know, just open up, get to know the ladies a little bit more. And Stacey's like, I'm sorry, I'm joyful. You know, I use my success to unite people, and I'm different. I can be a lot for people to take in. And Karen is like, you know, people like to come forward for what they aspire to be. And she tells her, you're not boring. Again, let them get to know you.
Yeah. For
me in that scene, I thought Stacy had such a great attitude and a great response to that. She didn't let that get her down. But I also, you know, would have been like, well, I don't have to be entertaining. We have a storyline for the season, Karen. I don't have to be the show.
Yeah.
We have something to talk about. So, hey, people don't want to touch it.
I'm going to take a whole nother spin on this. I want to talk about how she's talking to her, how she mentioned her daughter or how she mentioned her children, talking about how she go bring up the divorce to them. I want to ask Stacy, because I know she's watching, how proactive are you as a mom? Because now I'm hearing a pattern here. You have a hard time showing your daughter, I think it was the daughter that you said, like the black side of your family.
Yeah, she only has a daughter.
Yeah, okay, your daughter. The black side of your family and things of that nature. Okay, cool. Actually, let me take that back. Not cool. Because, Stacy, you're not a light-skinned black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a black woman. So for you to feel like you having trouble or having a hard time for your daughter to have pride in who she is, that's a lack of parenting on your part. That's one thing that I criticized you for early in the season. Number two, now this divorce. Now you out here with this guy, right? This friend of yours that I feel like is not really into you like that, and you don't know how to bring up the divorce. Like, I just feel like you're taking the back seat on a lot of things where I feel like you don't need to be reactionary. You need to be proactive in these things, especially since you're filming a show and your daughter may see it. You get what I'm saying? So I think Stacy needs to sit down with her daughter and give her a couple books about who she is, about, you know, be proud of your beauty, you're black and things like that. Maybe go back home to Detroit and let them meet the family, be around the family, and then sit down about the current status, about what's about to happen to the family, about like what's going to happen with the divorce and how that will look. I think Stacy just needs to be proactive in what's going on in her life a little bit more from what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the ladies get on the boat, and Stacy asks who Kay isn't really messing with. And Kay tells her, clearly Ashley. She didn't accept Ashley's apology when it came to the GNA event last year when Deborah hit her upside the head with a glass.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She did press charges. DC also pressed charges against Deborah, and they're just waiting on the court date.
Yeah, I just want to give my 2 cents on Keiarna. Keiarna, no one made you fight. You jumped into that fight. Right. So, and that does not justify you getting hit upside the head. But I just want to let you know that you jumped into the fight. That's all I'm going to say.
Mia apparently had New Year's Eve with the whole gang, with her kids, Ink and Gordon at Lake Norman. And she says sometimes Gordon is good being around everyone and sometimes he's uncomfortable. Yep. So she is still married to Gordon. She talks about how he is on medication and things are better when it comes to his episodes. So apparently, I think he did reveal that he was bipolar on the reunion. And he has these manic episodes to where he's like always like buying things in cash. Like he got her a G-Wagon. And it's funny because that she presented it as like, oh yeah, this is like one of his episodes. He bought me a G-Wagon. But when we saw it in the season last year, she was just like, yes,
dancing and all that stuff.
My sugar daddy got me a G-Wagon. It's just like, okay, I don't know whether she's coming or going. I don't even know if she knows. So Keiarna brings up how she heard that Stacy's dating. And Stacy just didn't like how Ashley brought it up. She felt that Ashley brought it up in the sense of, oh, she's got a new man, she's got a new boy toy, and Stacy felt like she was belittling the guy's position in her life. And Ashley tells her, look, all I said was he was a friend. Like, you're kind of putting on 20.
I'm about to say,
putting 20 on 10 with the situation. I didn't say all that. All I said was you had a friend. And Stacy said that she never thought she would go through a divorce, but she has a wonderful man. And then we flashed to him stretching, and she was talking to him and he was stretching away from her. I'm just like, he is not connected to you in any type of way. It is so awful to see. But she felt Ashley told someone, was talking about someone special in her life and reduced him. Stacy says, and another thing, you put your nasty bunions on my marble countertop.
That's true.
And she's just like, look, we're in new waters. She hasn't been intimate with anyone in a year. Then we move on to Stacy asking who called her boring.
That's not right here. Stacy, you do have one gripe.
Yeah.
And that gripe is that bunion.
Yeah,
don't put your foot on my countertop.
No.
I don't know who you are. Right? First of all, I got y'all wearing shoes in my house, and I was cool with that. But now you got your foot on my countertop. But guess what? Ashley was right when she would say, all I said was, you got a man, a friend. And things like that. If I said man, it is what it is. Because when you was talking to Ashley, you was making it seem like, hey, listen, this guy, this is basically my new potential. You get what I'm saying? And I think what it is, in my opinion, I think she is trying to put a square block into a circle peg. I think she knows or have a feeling that this
round hole.
Yeah. That there's she trying to put a square block
peg in a round hole.
Yeah, in a round hole.
Yeah.
Right? And because I think she know that this new guy don't fit. She's trying to make him fit. So the thing about it is, if by talking about him, we gonna put the spotlight more on him. And by putting the spotlight more on him, we will see that he's really not into her. So as Blair said, he was stretching away from her. There wasn't really much touching or any much like to let us know that y'all like each other, maybe like you. And I'm like, Stacy, you ain't gotta be that type of girl that like basically you have to imagine a guy liking you. You're a beautiful woman. So it was just weird. But the bunion on the countertop, 100%, you should be mad at Ashley for at least 6 months for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Don't come in my house disrespecting my home like that. Like, act like you've been somewhere. Like you wouldn't do that with anybody else. Like, you doing that with me because I'm new. Like, that was crazy to me. Anyway, so Wendy actually is the one who points out that Mia called her boring. Yeah. And Karen said that they need to support Stacy because she's going through hell right now. Karen, please.
I would have been like, not the hell you going through.
Not as bad as what you got going on, but yeah, I'm going through a rough time.
Yeah.
So they have cocktails set up for them when they get back to the house. It was actually a really cute setup. And Mia's friend / event planner was there. Gizelle wasn't happy with Karen sending out those invites to the ladies, so she plans on discussing that with her today. She feels that, she was discussing it with her, and she was saying that, I've been a friend to you, but I don't feel like I'm getting that in return. Yeah. And Karen explains that she told the ladies that they should attend both. Yeah. She didn't know exactly when her event was, but she did regret not being there for Gizelle, since it did honor her father. Yeah. But she doesn't take responsibility for Giselle's behavior. And Giselle's like, I'm not asking you to do that. She's like, our communication could be better, and she has been there for Karen, and she just wants to feel that in return. Yeah. Giselle's going to to be leaving. She'll be back tomorrow. But basically, they agree that they can do better as friends.
Now, we got to give Gizelle some respect here because we have multiple seasons of not giving Gizelle her respect. And it's actually amazing to see that Gizelle is the mature one between a disagreement.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I give you your little respect right there, Gizelle. You know what I'm saying? Whatever talk with executives did, boy, they got you right.
Yeah, they sure did straighten you out.
They straighten you out, a little straightening, right? Karen, stop it. Stop talking about, like, I told the ladies that they should have went to both. No, you invited them the morning of an award where you wasn't even like the main focal, the main focal point of the whole ceremony and things like that. I'm like, honestly, I don't even think the award is real. I don't even think the ceremony was real, in my opinion, right? But my whole point is, if they would have went, they couldn't go to both because Wendy didn't go to Gizelle thing because you didn't even get your award yet. So, like, if I'm coming to see you get your award and you didn't get your award by the time that Gizelle thing was starting or like about to end, we couldn't go to both.
Exactly.
like what if the shoe was on the other foot? So that's why I'm like, Karen is deflecting, she's lying, and she's trying to make it seem like, well, I'm not gonna take responsibility for your actions. And Gizelle, guess what? Thank you for not taking that alley-oop. She said, I'm not asking you to because I already did.
Yep.
I already apologized.
Exactly.
I got a little straightening. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So more of Mia's friends arrive, and one of the, so everybody's kind of going around talking about how they know Mia or one of their memories with Mia.
Yeah.
And one girl talks about how she was out with Mia and Ink picked up Mia's foot and got sucking on her toes in front of everybody.
That's one of your favorite scenes right there, Blair.
So no, I'm just like, can we please? Joy, or someone else met Mia when she was getting married to G, and she was like helping her like pick out different things for her wedding. Jacqueline talks about how she knew Mia back in the day, like in the Honda Civic days. So Jacqueline is the OG friend, so all y'all need to bow down is pretty much how Jacqueline's feeling. Well, Mia shares there was a time when Joy and Karen and Mia, they all hung out. When Karen left, she butt dialed them, and they overheard her say, they think I'm with Ray, but I'm really with somebody else. So that's where we end the episode.
What are your thoughts on this episode?
It was decent. I feel like it's preparing for like the rest of their trip. So I'm curious to see how things like can go moving forward. I felt like the Karen and Gizelle conversation was like cute, short, to the point. Like it didn't have to be dragged out, which was fine. And I, even though Stacy, I don't feel like she's boring, I felt like she did kind of step it up when it came to the boat trip and asking Kay who she doesn't fool with and kind of talking more about herself. So in a way, even if people feel she's boring or not, she knows how to step it up and kind of get the party going, which I think is good. So,
I want the women on this season to have a backbone when it comes to Karen. I feel like the minute that Karen sticks out her chest, they need to push it back in and be like, Karen, no disrespect, but all disrespect. You're a drunk driver. You can't say nothing to me. Literally, you know you are low. You know you're at your low point when you can't say nothing to Mia. And there's a lot of things to say something to Mia for. Yeah. You know you at your low point when you can't say nothing to Ashley. And there's a lot of things we could say. You know what I mean? Like I think like Karen should be a little bit more humble. But guess what? It's the right cast for her. Yeah. Because if Chris was on the cast and Karen started talking crazy to me, I'm waiting for the opportunity. I'm looking at every opportunity at Karen, just basically just looking like, okay, just making sure.
Just like a tennis racket, just like knock it right back to her. It's
no,
like,
no,
there's
no,
really
no.
Nothing can stick with me when you talk to me.
She won't be able to return the serve.
Same thing with Mia. Mia, whatever you got going on, I don't want nothing to be looking like your life. So if you say I'm boring, then that means I'm doing something right.
Yeah. But I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment. We'll be back next week with the next episode of Housewives of Potomac. Y'all be good.
Bye.